Hey everybody, this is Bree Tobias with Art Supply Guide, and today I'm going to do a demonstration using Sculpey air dry clay. And I've used this before to make some other projects, and I have mine actually stored here in a Ziploc bag. And then I'd also wrapped it in some cellophane, so it seems to be keeping very moist, and it's very pliable still. So I have to say that the life of this clay can last a couple of months. This has been in a bag for, I want to say, between maybe 3 to 5 months maybe. And this is Polyform, and it's a model air dry clay, and I believe the makers are Sculpey. Yeah, it's by Sculpey.com, and it is a white smooth paper clay, and it will dry by letting it sit out in the air and giving it, 24 to 48 hours, depending on how thick your sculptures are. Some of my objects here that I did make with this clay includes this rose. And this was made just by pinching many layers and smoothing them together on the back. This was made in 2 pieces. I had mixed in some acrylic paint into the white to make the top of a cupcake just a quick coil, and then just the base, and it wasn't very detailed. It was just kind of thrown together just for the sake of having a quick project that maybe a child could make, something my daughter probably could come up with. But it did come in 2 pieces, so it dried separately, and you can just kind of display it that way and play with it. And then the last one, I did kind of a crude sculpture of a face, and I'm a little out of practice on sculpting in 3D. It's really not my main media. I've done some sculpting in the past, but I have to say that faces are probably a weakness of mine when it comes to sculpting them in the round. I'm better at drawing them, actually. So these are 3 examples of what the air dry clay is, and it will take paint. So once these dry completely, you can actually use an acrylic paint, and you can add color to them and do all kinds of different details just with the paint in general. So today we're going to move on and work on some projects, and one thing I would like to make quickly is see how to roll out some of this clay and make a bowl. And I'm going to do like an impression on it using some lace fabric that I have here, and I'm just going to quickly jump into that demonstration. What we're going to need is the lace. We're going to need the clay. I've got a rolling pin here. I have a bowl for a form. This is going to actually be what the clay will sit in to dry, so it will dry in that rounded shape. And then for other various projects and things like that, I would recommend to have some sculpting tools. I don't have an actual sculpting needle tool on hand, so I have a couple of little styluses here. That one's a fine and one is a larger ball tip, and that'll just help me get some of those finer details. So let's jump into the demonstration and see how this clay performs. Okay, we're back, and these are the two finished pieces after I had given them a few days to dry and then added a little bit of acrylic paint just to help some of the details stand out on the white clay. This here is the slab that I rolled to make a small bowl, and it's something that would be ideal for putting small objects like paper clips, or actually keeping, you know, rings or bracelets or something like that in it. And my little gnome here, he took a lot longer to dry because he's thicker. And I did explain that. It does take longer for the thicker clay to dry. And then he needs to still sit a little while longer and dry. I wouldn't recommend, you know, throwing him or dropping him. He may break. So, with that being said, this is the air dry clay. The projects that you could make are pretty cool. I do have my older ones here to display. Here's two of them. My daughter took off with the cupcake. So you've got a variety of things that you can do with this air dry clay. I really think that it's a pretty cool product. Awesome for kids, great for school class projects, things like that. People who are more advanced sculptors could really come up with some awesome stuff with this clay. So I do recommend it. It is cheaper than trying to do something with a low fire clay. So go ahead and try some of that clay. And I have links in the article on where you can find it on Amazon. Alright guys, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this demonstration, and I will see you next time. Be sure to subscribe to my channel so you can check out all of the other tutorial videos and art demos. I always have an art demo showing how to use the product, and then with the tutorials it's pretty much more of a speed painting, and you can kind of see the process throughout. So don't forget that, and don't forget to visit artsupplyguide.com and check out the website. We got some really cool podcast interviews on the website, as well as links to taking classes. I have a faux finishing murals class that teaches you how to do sponging and faux brickwork. It teaches you how to do landscape painting. And then I also have some watercolor courses there to show you some really cool drip painting techniques and how to do faces. And they're a little more in the comic slash anime lowbrow style. They're not realistic portraits, so in a sense they are a little bit more simple for anybody to take, but some cool stuff there. So go ahead and go on over to artsupplyguide.com and check out the other content we have. Alright guys, see you next time.